Welcome to Noon on Wednesdays, and that means one thing. It's time for the Red Clay Soccer Report, presented by our friends at Kaiser Permanente, because they're like right there, upper part of the screen. Can't thank our friends at Kaiser Permanente enough for being great partners and great friends with us here at SDH. It is a full show as always. This is the last, I think, regular weekly, with the playoffs starting next week. Then we go daily as best we can, juggling all of those things. Won't necessarily be a full hour each day, but we'll be with you every day that there is playoff action to talk about. This is the last weekly that we have here on the 2026 season. Rundown. We got rankings from our friends at Scoreboard. We got schedules. We got brackets as best as they can be filled out so far, because power rankings and things are going to kind of push things in those classifications to the end of the line. We'll let you know what matchups look like and what some of the quadrants look like. Chris Aiken, the boys' head coach at Clarke Central, is going to be joining us. We caught up with him before he had to go and report back to class. But batting leadoff, we take a trip to Casita. And you're going, John, where is Casita? That's part of the fun here. We get to let everybody know what goes on around the state of Georgia. And it's time to catch up with girls' head coach Rusty Oliver, who is ranked number 3 on the girls' side. Good to see you, Coach.
Good to see you. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
No, it's great for us, because we get to kind of educate the state about the rest of the state, and to be able to tell these stories heading into the postseason and during the regular season. Now, because of my 30 years of covering high school athletics in the state of Georgia, Casita is about 20 miles south of Columbus, down the South Georgia Parkway, right?
Right, all the way to Albany, outside of Columbus. That's right.
So you're taking 280/520. You're leaving Columbus, and you're heading straight south, and you run into Chattahoochee County. You run into Casita in the county seat, and that's where you are these days. And for me, it's a treat, because your pedigree is unparalleled in the Western Frontier, as I call it when I catch up with my friend Jack Patterson at WRBL. It's the Western Frontier for those of us who are based up here in Atlanta. What has it been like for you to take over the ChattCo program and get it to where it is right now?
Well, it's an interesting path. When I started this year, this is my first year at Chattahoochee County, first year here. I was not the head coach. It was not my intention to coach again. I had coached previously for 18 years at another school. I thought I'd hung up my boots for good, but with a small school, staffing issues, sometimes you just have to step up to the plate. Someone had discovered that I had a little history of coaching in my past, and when I was asked, I couldn't say no. It's a good group of kids, and they needed somebody, so I just said I'd take one for the team and give them what I had.
And it has been tremendous so far this season, out of the blocks. For those that don't know, in Class A D2 on the girls' side, 15-1 out of the blocks. And a lot of folks are looking at your top 5. Has it surprised you what you have been able to see in this group this year?
Yes and no. Again, having had no history with these kids, I had to learn about them, where our players could fit in. They had to subscribe to my way of doing things. I'm up there in years, and I'm pretty set in my ways. So we have a great group of seniors who bought in and have just provided great leadership. And then we've got some pretty skilled players up and down our roster. So I guess the perfect storm just kind of meshed up, and we're rolling along.
And you mentioned some of those players coming into a 15-1, and I read correct, and I've got to double check this, that you have probably one of the more heralded freshmen in the state. And when you look at the stats for a freshman that, in Mariah Floyd, 48-10, is that right? Do I have that right?
That is correct. Yes.
Wow. When you see someone like Mariah take over and just have this talent that, you walk in the door and you naturally gravitate to seeing a player like that. What's it like to see her as a freshman have that kind of impact?
I mean, it's a coach's dream. You know, she played basketball for our school as well. So, you know, she came in the season. She was a little banged up from basketball, but day one, once I saw once I saw a ball at her feet, I had a pretty good idea of what she was capable of. Scoring 48 goals for anyone, freshman to senior, is pretty remarkable. I don't think I've ever had a player score that many goals. And our kids just feed off of it. She's just a natural talent, but she has that goal scoring mentality, and you know, teams either have to live or die by defending her. So fortunately, we have other players that can score. Had another player scored 3 goals in our last match. So teams can either choose to try to mark her, or they're going to watch what she can do when she has a ball at her feet.
Yeah, I think 9 different players have scored for you this year. You've got 2 others that are in double figures, and you mentioned like when Mariah gathers all of that attention, that means that it's opportunities. And you have Nayeli Vasquez, who scored 13 as a senior, and you've got Jane Parker, who scored a dozen as a senior. So you've got those other folks that are helping fill in the gaps when you know that the entire opposition is going to basically try to bracket and bunker around your freshman to make sure she doesn't score. You're getting other folks to contribute.
Right. And that's important. And it starts in the back. We've got great leadership in the back. Another senior of ours, a couple of senior of ours playing in the back. It starts from there. I can trust them on the back line, and they build up through the midfield. And when Mariah's up top, everything just seems to connect. But it starts in the back. So I credit our defense a lot as well.
Okay, so brag on that defense. Who are some of the folks that when they come in and check you out in the playoffs, who are some of those names that are at the back helping out?
Well, we got Victoria Donovan. She's a senior. She plays our sweeper, or one of our center backs, and Chloe Schillig. Victoria's she's super skilled with the ball. She's versatile. She's a player that can play anywhere on the field, and she's someone that I know if we have her in the back, I can actually drop down from 4 to 3 defenders on our back line as the game dictates. And then Chloe Schillig is another senior that we have back there, who's just a solid defender. She's tall, she's athletic, and she will go in and tackle hard. So our defenders let any attacking players know that they're there.
The schedule this season, I mean, there's a lot of ats when it comes to the schedule. The road schedule. I mean, I'm looking at the schedule, and I'm looking at Beauregard, Eufaula, South Georgia STEM, Furlough, going to Montezuma, going to Roberta, back to back with Russell County. And I mean, there's a lot of miles that you put on this group, and then you get to play Valley, and you play, like I said, you play Crawford County a couple of times. When you're putting a lot of miles on, I hope you're getting like 55 to 58 cents a mile. What's it like to have the team still put the effort out that they are to get the results that you're getting with all of the miles that you're having to put on there in single A?
Yeah, needless to say, I didn't make that schedule out, so I would not have set ourselves up to travel that much. But I think it built some character in our team. I mean, we kids would come, work hard all day at school, load up on a bus, and then we'd be back at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, especially during that first week playing in a tournament. So it was a seasoning type of test, and I think it's paid off. And now we've had this stretch of home games. We win tonight. We'll be fortunate enough to host a playoff game in the second round. So we're still sort of figuring out playing on our field, and that's something that I've also tried to establish. Trying to make our home field someplace that no one wants to come play.
When it comes to the growth of the program in the time that you've been there, what has the response been like on campus, in the community? So I guess the all-encompassing question is, what does football, FUTBOL, mean to Casita, knowing what we've seen on the FOOTBALL side with ChattCo this season? What's the soccer vibe like down there?
We've gotten a lot of support. Again, our school's pretty small, so it is a community within itself. And we've had great student support, great teacher support, great administrator support. we again, being a small school, we don't fill our stadium up, but the folks that are there, they are vocal, and they are super supportive. So I'm very appreciative of that. Having a home field is important, and it's something that I haven't had before from coaching. So it's something that I've tried to remind our kids and make them aware of. That it's our place, it's our turf. So the community support has just been superb.
What's the current enrollment there at ChattCo?
It's only around 400 kids.
And how big is your roster?
Our roster is 17 deep.
Okay, and what you've seen there with the results speaks for themselves so far. Are any of the players that you have that are seniors that you know of, are they looking to play at the next level? Are they getting any looks or anything like that?
They're getting a few looks. I think they're still a little undecided about what their plans are, but several of them could definitely play at the next level.
Okay. The reason I ask is because we have our Georgia call-up program that's attached with the GSFA, and I didn't know if anybody was getting either looks that you thought, if there was a player that was not getting the looks you thought that they deserved, or wasn't getting the looks to the level that you think that they deserve. Somebody might be getting NAIA D3, but you think that they're probably a D2 or a 1AA or something like that. I didn't know if anybody fit that bill.
That's outside of my sphere. I'm a high school coach, so
right.
I'll leave that up to the real coaches out there. But I've coached some folks. I've had kids that played here at Columbus State. I've had players that went on to Alabama, West Point, and I would say some of our players match up with what I've seen in my years coaching past.
How tough is Class A D2? Because you look at the rankings and you're seeing some traditional powers. You see Screven that's there. Tryon is always there at the end of the year. Irwin is making a run this year. Trutland, GMC is a traditional power, and ATCO is a traditional power, like Oconee Academy. You always get to see. How tough is Class A D2 from what you've been able to piece together?
Well, I think there are probably there's probably a solid top 10. And again, this is just from my limited time being in this classification. But I've spent a lot of time watching video. I'm so grateful for these video networks that are available to us now. And I see a lot of similarity with about the top 10 teams in the state. I think there are 10 teams that on any given day could beat anyone else in this classification, which is difficult because you just never know who's going to show up, whether your kids are going to be ready, and all of the external factors that come into play. So I'd say this classification is pretty tough. Top 10, top 12 teams.
Okay, so I believe the matchup with Furlough is set for 5:30. Is that right?
That's right. Yes.
Right. So what's the itinerary? What's the travel plans? When do you get in the Yellowhound? What's it looking like?
Our kids will show up dressed head to toe, ready to get down to business, as I say, at 4:30, and then we'll kick off at 5:30. We played a good game against them in our first region contest, so we're looking to duplicate that today. Do that, we secure a region championship, which will be the first time for any of these kids in this program.
Fantastic. It's great to catch up with you and find out what's going on down there at ChattCo. Safe travels for the matchup here this afternoon against Furlough. We'll be keeping an eye on you, and we'll be filling out our brackets when we get to fill out our brackets in pen and find out.
Yes, everything's in pencil right now, right?
Exactly. Good to see you, Rusty. Safe travels. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
There we go. Rusty Oliver, head coach at ChattCo. And so Casita, to answer your question, about 20 miles south of Columbus. You go down Georgia 285-20. You go through the military base. You go down 285-20, about 20 miles south of Columbus, and that's where Casita is, and that's what's going on with ChattCo. And it's always great to once again to catch up with Rusty Oliver and find out what's going on and some of the stories that we just kind of get to see here in the regular season here in the Red Clay. So that's always great. All right, so that's Class A D2 on the girls' side. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we catch up with Chris Aiken, and we find out what's going on the boys' side at Clarke Central. And they are nationally ranked. They are top 5 in the state of Georgia, top 25 nationally ranked. I think they're 22 in the Max Preps poll. So it's a great opportunity to find out what's going on there. He's been there for almost 15 years, and to see where Clarke Central is right now, it's really cool to see the development from the Peachtree Ridge grad and to see what's going on and that pipeline that is now being developed. We see it a lot in the in the FOOTBALL, where middle school, elementary, middle, high, they're all running the same plays. They know the same terminology. They know what they're looking at and all these things. And so right now you're getting that kind of a pipeline. You're getting that kind of an approach, middle school to high school. And so we get into that with Chris and find out what's going on at Clarke Central on the boys' side. That's coming up at the bottom of the hour. Let's go through the rankings, courtesy of our friends at Scoreboard. And we will let you know what it looks like on the girls' side and on the boys' side. And we will start up top in the highest classification. Remember, tomorrow is decision day, last day of the regular season. And we will be in 2 places. So SDH 1 will be at Bobby Gruen Field in City Park for Johnson, Gainesville, and Gainesville. And Maddie and Jason will be there for that one. I think that's 5:30 and 7:30. Drew will be at Stars Mill for McIntosh and Stars Mill. That one is also 5:30, 7:30, and that's the Battle for the Troops. We always like to be there for the Battle of the Troops, and it's a great day to remember those who have served, are serving, or will serve. And it's a great rivalry in the first place, but it's a great cause, and it's a great day at Stars Mill, where both of these teams come together on the boys' side and the girls' side, and they just leave it out there on the field at Stars Mill. And I mean, we've even had times in the past in that rivalry where the opposing team wanted to go and ring the bell, and that wasn't looked at too kindly. So that was a couple of seasons back, but no, that was an adventure, and that was, I think, one of my first times experiencing that particular rivalry. So Johnson, Gainesville tomorrow, Maddie and Jason. Drew has Stars Mill and McIntosh on decision day. So that'll be our broadcast. Go to soccerdownhere.net, hit the listen tab, and then you can choose your broadcast. Both of the channels, SDH 1 and 2, will be up and running. And Maddie and Jason will be on SDH. They'll be on the mothership. Drew is going to be on SDH 2. When you go to the listen tab, you'll see red lights going. And that means that we're live on those particular channels, whether it's SDH 1 or SDH 2. You'll see 2 red lights. Fire up multiple devices. Listen to them both. Doubleheader in both places. Bobby Gruen Field in City Park for Gainesville and Johnson, Gainesville, and at Stars Mill for McIntosh and Stars Mill. That's going to be the matchups tomorrow on the network. And we will have all of that for you at soccerdownhere.net. So that's the rundown of the grid. We'll let you know what's going on as we continue to go. When we figure out where our high school playoff games are going to be, we'll let you know what's going on there as well. All right, 7A girls, we'll break it all down for you. And once again, Chris Aiken from Clarke Central joining us bottom of the hour. No real surprises in 7A. Or in 6A, sorry. In 6A, 7A will be next year. We're going to go back to 7 next year. We just won't have Class A, D1, and D2. 6A, top of the pop. It is Walton, West Forsyth, Brookwood. That in and of itself is crazy. Walton, West Forsyth, and Brookwood. All at 15-1, all undefeated in region. Harrison's at number 4. Hillgrove's at number 5. Richmond Hill on the coast is at number 6. They've run the table in Region 1, 6A. Cherokee is at number 7. Norcross is at 8. Campbell is at 9. And our friends at North Gwinnett are ranked number 10 at 11-5 and 5-2. In 5A, Riverwood at the top of the standings. Northgate is at number 2. And we've had Northgate on the air this year. Roswell's at number 3. Johns Creek is at number 4. McIntosh, we get to see them for the first time this season coming up tomorrow. They're at number 5. Lassiter, Pope, Alexander, Chambly, and Rome at number 10 at 15-2 and 6-1. So that's your rundown in 5A. 4A girls, Marist, BT, Westminster, Midtown, North Oconee, Stars Mill. Once again, you get to see Stars Mill and McIntosh tomorrow. Allatuna's at number 7. St. Pius at 8. We saw them early in the year, and it was in multiple seasons when they went to go play at Brookwood. We had the St. Pius Brookwood game on the network earlier this year. Pace Academy at 9, and Harris County 12-2 and 6-1. Coming into this week, they were at number 10. AAA, the private rankings, Wesleyan, our buddy Chad Griffin and Hebron Christian at number 2, Holy Innocents, Greater Atlanta Christian, the Lovett School, Calvary Days at number 6, Providence Christian, Whitfield Academy. We got to see Whitfield Academy take on, nuts. Who was it last time out? It was last week. It literally was, it was Whitfield Academy, and now you're going to have me look it up because my brain is just mush at the moment. So Whitfield Academy soccer, the Wolfpack went against, and they are at 10-5, by the way. Atlanta International, thank you. AIS. And so it was a big win for them against AIS, and that was last week. And so it is Whitfield at 8, St. Vincent's at 9, and Paideia is at number 10. That's your private rankings, Class A through AAA. Then on the AAA public side, Oconee County's at number 1. Whitewater at number 2, Jefferson's at number 3, 11-2 and 4-1. Harlem, with their season so far, 13-0 in region play, 14-2 overall. Lumpkin County's at number 5. Adairsville's at number 6. Cherokee Bluff at number 7. Long County, and it was great to catch up with Coach Versprill last week. They're at number 8. ARC's at number 9, and Calhoun is at number 10 at 11-6 and 4-2. In AA, on the girls' side, Pike County, number 1. Coahulla Creek at number 2, Columbus at number 3, Sonoraville's at 4, Callaway, and we got to catch up with Coach Petit at Callaway and got to be there for their big rivalry game against Morgan County a couple weeks ago. So they're at number 5. Pierce County's at number 6, Morgan County's at number 7, Union County's at number 8, Savannah Arts Academy is at 9, and East Jackson is at number 10 in the scoreboard rankings. And so that gets you into Class A. And Class A D1 on the girls' side, Thomasville's right now at number 1. Models at number 2. Ace Charter is at number 3. Lamar County at number 4. They've run through region at 10-0. They're 11-1 overall. Jeff Davis is at 15-2. And Coach Lawson's group 5-1 in region play, ranked at number 5. Fannin County at number 6 at 10-3. Bleckley County at 7. Coach Richardson and Social Circle, they are at number 8. Bremen is at number 9, and Worth County at number 10, 12-4, 4-2 so far coming into this week. And like I said, this was coming into this week, and these were posted Sunday night. Class A Division II, Screven County is at 16-1. They're at number 1. Tryon, ChattCo with Coach Oliver, Irwin, Trutland, GMC, Claxton, Atco, Atlanta Classical, and LOA. LOA playing up in classification, region play. They've run the table, and Lake Oconee Academy under 500 record, but they've played a lot out of their classification, unbeaten in region play, and that gets you to your top 10 on the girls' side. So boys' side, and once again, we'll take a peek at boys once again going from 6 to Class A D1 and 2. 6A boys top 10. Lambert number 1, Carrollton at number 2. It was great to catch up with Coach New last week. Meadow Creek at 3, South Forsyth at 4, Marietta 5, Archer at 6, Campbell, Walton, Pebblebrook, and Peachtree Ridge, the high school that was the institution of higher learning for our upcoming guest, Chris Aiken, the head coach at Clarke Central. That's 6A. 5A, Johns Creek at number 1, Clarke Central's boys at number 2, Decatur at 3, McIntosh, Gainesville, Veterans, Riverwood, Pope, Lassiter, River Ridge. River Ridge at number 10 after graduation this year and bringing other players through. But keep an eye on River Ridge in the playoffs. And then that gets us into Quad A. Quad A right now on the boys' side, coming in week number 9. Dalton and Notre Dame of Chattanooga had a 1-1 draw yesterday. So 2 nationally ranked teams doing their thing, and it was a 1-1 draw. Sounds about fair. Dalton, St. Pius, BT 1, 2, and 3 in Quad A. East Forsyth, Walnut Grove 14-3, 6-0 in region. Clarkston at number 6, Drew at number 7, Pace Academy at 8, Midtown and Centennial are 9 and 10. AAA boys on the private side. Whitfield Academy, once again, we got to see their back and forth with AIS. It was a great game. GAC, Mount Vernon, Calvary Day, Savannah Country Day, Holy Innocents, Hebron Christian, the Walker School, AIS at number 9, Lovett at number 10. And AIS and Lovett both at 500 in the regular season and ranked number 9 and 10 in the polls. On the public side, boys side, Johnson Gainesville, 13-2, 7-0. And remember, we're going to have Johnson Gainesville and Gainesville on the network tomorrow. Northwest Whitfield's at number 2, Islands at 3, Oconee County at 4, West Lawrence 17-0 and 13-0 at number 5. LaGrange, Chestatee, Jenkins, Mary Persons, and Bainbridge, you're 9 and 10. That's in AAA. AA on the boys' side. Union County's at number 1. Callaway, once again, and Coach Petit is at number 2. Pike County's at 3. Hart County's at 4. It was great to catch up with them a couple weeks ago because it's one coach, 2 programs. So Hart County's doing a lot of really great things in their recent footprint and their recent resume, hitting a bunch of milestones. Right now they're at number 4, Week 9 rankings out of AA. Savannah Arts is 5, Columbus is 6, Morgan County's at 7, Crisp, North Murray, and Jackson are 8, 9, and 10. Class A Division 1, Model at 15-2, 5-0. They've run the table so far. Ace Charter, Fannin County, Putnam, 13-2. Jeff Davis, number 5 at 13-4. Thomasville's at 6. Toombs, Armurchie, Bremen, and Jasper County. That's the rest of the top 10 on the boys' side. And then in Class A Division 2, GMC, once again, we've had them on the air multiple times this year. LOA, great to catch up with them on the air this year. ATCO down in Pearson continues to impress. They're at 11-5. Dooley County on the boys' side at 14-3. Towns, it is they're at number 5. Brooks County's at number 6. We got to find out what's going on down there in Quitman with soccer. Metters at number 7. Lincoln County's at 8. Atlanta Classical is at number 9, and Tryon is your number 10. So that's the rundown of our rankings, courtesy of our friends at Scoreboard. Download the Scoreboard app, and you can also reach out to them, SCORBORD, Scoreboard, no E, no A, SCORBORD.com. That's where they have all their rankings, state to state. They got a handful of states, and they're looking to add, obviously, more, but that's the rankings on the boys' side and the girls' side here out of week number 9 in the polls. So we mentioned on the boys' side that there is a particular program that is nationally ranked, and they are doing very, very well this season across the board. And it was an opportunity for us to find out what is going on at Clarke Central right now. Number 2 in the Scoreboard rankings in Class 5A. Region champs, kind of looking at brackets a little bit, filling them out in pencil. And it was an opportunity for us to catch up with their head coach, Chris Aiken, to find out what's going on. We caught up with him before he had to report to lunchroom duty in class. So here's the interview that we had with him just under an hour ago. So now that we're getting close to decision day, and then you'll know where things fall out when it comes to brackets, how far back did you start looking at brackets and getting ready for the postseason, or were you kind of locked in on the task at hand, and then we'll get to brackets when we get to brackets?
So we probably started about 2 weeks ago. We knew once we played Jackson County and Habersham, we had a good view of what the region was going to shake out and look like, and so we started looking who we'd match up against. But the region we match up against is unique. They play actually a region tournament to decide their playoff seeding at the end of the season. So we had to wait until the region tournament was over right before spring break to find out who our opponent would be. But obviously any good program is always looking ahead, so we can try to find some video and kind of pre-scout who we might match up against. And thankfully we've kind of seen who we're going to play. We're going to play South Effingham, and we're trying to watch some video on them and get prepared for next week.
How far back did you go in a situation like this?
So I probably started about 2 weeks ago looking for any video I could on potentially South Effingham and Greenbrier, knowing that those potentially would be the 3rd and 4th seeds. Really, really good programs. We'll take the time to make all of their videos private and find ways to try to get rid of them and not let you find them. And so the sooner you can start preparing and get those videos and start getting a scouting report ready, the more prepared your team can be for that playoff game.
When you came into this year, I know that you had self-expectations, and I'm sure the guys did too. Where are you in that quest of meeting those expectations, whether we're talking team, personal goals, markers, those kinds of things? Where are you?
I would say we are right on track. Not to say we over-exceeded or under-exceeded. We knew we were returning a player last year, sophomore Henry Payne, that set our school record for goals in a season. So we knew we had an offensive weapon that was ready to produce at a high level, and we returned 2 of our starting defenders and 2 starting center midfielders. And so we knew we had a lot of pieces back from a very good team that lost in the Sweet 16 the year before. And obviously we were competing to win the region championship, just as we have been every year I've been here. And so a lot of the players that I knew were going to perform well have lived up to expectations. And then we've been very fortunate. Kind of a thing we tried to build on from last season is find different scoring threats, not beyond just Henry. And we've been fortunate to kind of develop several different players that could score. And that's kind of what our Achilles heel was last season. Anytime that teams would double team and triple team Henry, we struggled to get other players involved in the attacking third, but we've really made a conscious effort this year to try to find multiple ways to get different players involved so that if teams focus all their effort on Henry, other players will get opportunities, and hopefully they've been able to take advantage of those. And we've seen a lot of success throughout the regular season, and now we'll look forward to hopefully seeing that same success in the postseason.
So you're reading my notes. I was going to ask, when you have someone like Henry who has that positional gravity where he's going to be bracketed, he's going to be double teamed, closed in on, probably treated a little more roughly than other individuals, perhaps, when it comes to possession and things like that. For someone who hasn't seen you so far this year, who have been those folks that have stepped up to help you out in that process to where if Henry is pinned in, he can find these outlets? Who have helped out this year?
So one off the top of the bat is Chavi Reyes. He plays left wing for us. He had a really solid season last year as a sophomore. We knew he was coming back obviously as a junior and looking for him to keep developing. And so he gets a lot of 1v1 opportunities. Like you're saying, once Henry gets that bracket, we try to talk as much as we can about getting the ball wide. And then once you get the ball wide, trying to take on your man, because you know that Henry's going to have the best 2 players marking him. So you've got the better matchup. And then another one is a freshman this year, Oscar Malik. He's been playing for GSA's ECNL team the past 3 years. He's got a lot of good development throughout his middle school time. Obviously, as a 14-year-old coming into high school soccer, you're playing a lot of 18 and 19-year-olds. So it's a different style game, but his technical ability is second to none in our program. And so Oscar's been a very key player to setting up a lot of our other players. Paulo Calabria, he plays for Athens United, but he also plays for the ODP regional team. He's an excellent player. He was with us last year as well. All those 3 players have kind of got a lot of opportunities to score and get assists. Obviously, with Henry drawing a lot of the attention, all those players get a lot of 1v1 opportunities. And so thankfully, they've been able to take advantage of them. Chavi got 2 goals last night. And so we're looking to take that momentum into the playoffs.
What's it like to see underclassmen step up the way that they have across the board for you this year?
So to see Oscar kind of develop into the role that he has been very impactful. And obviously you're excited as a coach to see a player of that age be so composed on the ball and so confident to help a program that's obviously got a lot of established juniors and seniors. Oscar just got invited to play for the MLS Next team at Lanier Sharks. And so he's a very well-rounded player who's getting a lot of exposure. And then we've got other young players that are contributing as well. We got a sophomore that starts at defense. He's been very good for us, Shepherd Trotter. And so to see just a wealth of talent in all the classes obviously is what you're looking for at the high school level, because once the seniors leave, you're looking for that next group of players to step in and keep the momentum going. And so we're fortunate to have a lot of talented players at every class.
How do you keep the pressure of expectations off to the side and not something that young men and student athletes focus on? Because everybody knows, I mean, you're number 5 in all classifications in the state in some polls, top 25 nationally in some polls. You probably are going to sit there and go, yeah, this is cool, that's great, but we got other things to focus on. But in the day of social media, it's probably really difficult. How do you keep them focused on the task at hand? Do you embrace all of that noise from the outside? How do you work this?
We try to talk about that noise as little as possible. I think in like the past 4 Georgia all-class PSR polls, we're number 1. We try to never mention that, never talk about that. We try to talk about resetting every day and refocusing, and trying to build momentum for what's coming up next. Because I think if you live in the past on numbers or metrics or coaching polls, you're kind of patting yourself on the back. But the ultimate goal, and I remind them of this daily, is that we're only doing this to get ready for the postseason. This is my 14th year at Clarke Central. I never talk about regular season accolades, region championships, those things. They're great things to reflect on, but the ultimate goal is you're preparing for a 5-game playoff season. And hopefully that everything you've done since January leads up to playoff success. And so they've done a great job, obviously, of resetting and refocusing. Obviously, social media, like you mentioned, is huge. We've got a team of UGA students that follows us throughout the whole season and documents everything we're doing. And so it is hard to get away from it, but we obviously talk every day. But our ultimate goal is, can we get prepared and execute in the playoffs? And hopefully we're getting ready to do that next week.
When you first stepped in the door 14 years ago, do you remember what the program was like back then, and can you compare it to what it's like now?
I remember vividly. So I remember my first year I took over, we had a lot of talented players, but the team itself, I guess, was just different than, I guess, how I had grown up being part of a team, as far as like what the program looked like, what the daily expectations were, what that kind of looked like. And so I kind of tried to bring a lot of the things that I remember growing up playing. I grew up playing for Atlanta Fire and played for Peachtree Ridge High School down in Gwinnett County. As far as like what we wear at practice every day, having a set practice outfit, how we dress on game days, wearing a shirt and tie to school on game days to dress for success, dress professional, let the kids know it's a business day. It's no longer a school day. You're getting ready to compete, to build your resume and show people what you've got. And so bringing in a lot of those program cultural expectations and kind of building a program 14 years ago, now we kind of kids know what's coming. They know what to expect. I've got kids in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade that already know what it looks like at the high school level. We wear a red Nike shirt every day to practice with black shorts and black socks. And so we kind of have a standard of excellence we talk about, and we try to live up to that standard every day. All my JV coaches are former players of mine, so they know exactly what the expectation is in the program, what it should look like, how to do it. And they do a great job preparing those guys to get ready for varsity. We certainly had talented players when I first took over. The program was not in disarray or anything. We won the region my first year. And so that piece was there, but building that sustained success is very difficult at the high school level. A lot of people use the term, it's a rebuilding year, or we're regrowing, but to me, it's never about rebuilding or anything. You should already have the next group ready, so when they step in and get their opportunity, they're ready for that moment to shine. And so we've seen a lot of players that come in after 1 year of JV and then they become varsity superstars, or they get brought up in the middle of the season and they're ready for that moment as well. And so I think the big piece of that is that you set the same expectation for all 9th through 12th graders, and you keep that expectation high, and you never let off that expectation. And then you just keep holding them to that same standard of excellence. And thankfully they've been able to not only stay at that level, but they keep exceeding it. And we've been able to reap the benefits of that.
How long did it take for you to get that rhythm where like everything that you're looking for is in place? Just a week.
It definitely took at least 3 or 4 years. It was not an instant thing by any means. Obviously, as the new coach, even if you have success on the field, it's hard to get kids to buy into doing things if they've been doing it a certain way their whole life. But once you show what you're able to achieve, once you buy into that success, it kind of has a snowball effect, and people want that standard, and they want that discipline, and they want that accountability. And then once you see that if you follow through with that, there'll be sustained success on the field, and you'll get the results and you'll get the accolades. It just has a reoccurring effect where I think that they buy into it, and then they see the success and they want to keep buying into it more. And so things like if you are late to practice, you don't start the next game, or if you miss practice, you can't play the first half, little things like that. And you hold true to it, even if it's your best player. It really sets a level of expectation and standard of excellence that's contributed to a lot of my success here.
So then how would you have handled the Enzo Fernandez situation at Chelsea?
I don't know. Obviously, we're fortunate that all of our players buy in. Obviously, we've had some difficulties recently with kids that are playing MLS Next simultaneously. I've had kids that have been playing for Atlanta United's academy system. They have obviously conflicts that overlap with high school soccer, and those are very delicate situations. This year, we've got a kid who's playing varsity golf at the same time as varsity soccer. And so obviously, you can't set rigid boundaries where you're going to cut kids or kick them off the team, or, make a mockery of what's going on. You've got to be flexible, but you've also got to hold them to the same standard as the other kids, because the minute you let off the gas, things will start falling through the cracks and the program might fall apart. So obviously we try to handle each situation on a case-by-case basis, but we try to hold everyone to the same standard. And we've done a great job of doing that in my 14 years here.
What was the first reaction to blazer and tie?
So dating back to when I first started here, I think the kids were surprised. Obviously kids don't expect to dress up and be asked to dress up, but you see some kids take it very seriously. They wear a 3-piece suit, they wear dress shoes, they get fully into it. A lot of kids just go standard button-down shirt with a tie. It's not anything that I ask them to come check in with me, or we monitor what they're wearing or we make a big deal about it. But now in year 14, it's just routine. Everyone knows exactly what to expect, how to do it, what we're looking for. And again, we remind them it's kind of a three-piece thing for me. It's not really just doing it because it's a game day. It reminds them, one, that it's a business day at school. Hopefully you're hydrating, you're eating well, you're taking academics seriously. But when you're dressed like that, it reminds you constantly you have a game later today. You're building your own resume at this point. You're either getting better, you're getting worse, you're improving your status on the team, etc. Two, it reminds them that, they need to be professional kind of in the workplace and when they graduate high school and go on in their regular life. If it's a job interview or something you're doing outside of the school context, hopefully you can hold yourself in a well manner and, be professional and things like that. So it's a great skill you can take beyond high school soccer. And then three, I remind them this all the time privately. It's also kind of a publicity stunt. Obviously, we know soccer is not American football where people are going to come and want to be at the game. So when you're in a shirt and tie, you get asked by your peers, you get asked by your teachers, why are you dressed up today? I have a game. You should come. You should come support us. We're ranked number 1 in the state. We're ranked number 5 in the nation. But the shirt and tie draws the attention to ask, why are you dressed up? And so it's an excellent opportunity to promote what you're doing, what's going on, and kind of gives them an opportunity to talk about themselves without kind of being overly bragging about what we're doing internally.
So when you mention the support, I was going to ask what the support is for the FUTBOL football program there. What is the support tree like there at Clarke Central?
I think it's tremendous. Obviously, I've been here a long time, so a lot of people know me in the building, other teachers, staff like that. They've been very supportive, very grateful, email me, text me privately, thank me for what I do for the kids, but then also congratulate us on our success. They do things like send us off on the bus where they clap for us in the hallways when we go to playoff games, things like that. Our admin's very supportive of the soccer program here. Obviously, we've got great students that come support us at the home games, parents, things like that. And so the support is tremendous. Obviously, our on-field success, I think, contributes to the buzz, if you will, around just the high school soccer program. Obviously, people want to keep asking, are we undefeated? How are we doing? How's the season going? Things like that. And so it has this generate, people want to keep following along with your ride. And so obviously the support has been great and we're appreciative of it. And hopefully we can keep making them proud in the playoffs.
And we are looking forward to it. Chris, I can't thank you enough for taking time out. Your hyper busy schedule getting ready for the playoffs to come and visit with us here at Red Clay on a Red Clay Wednesday. We're going to be keeping an eye on you, my friend. It's great to see you, and I love what you're doing up there at Clarke Central. We'll catch up with you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Chris Aiken, head coach at Clarke Central on the boys' side. So it's always great to catch up with him. And I don't think he needed a note to get back in class. I think we're okay. All right, let's get you through we got you through the rankings. And so what we'll do is take a peek at brackets. We'll take a peek at schedule, find out what's going on today, getting into decision day tomorrow, and our doubleheader once again. We're going to be at Stars Mill for Battle for the Troops. Drew Dickinson is going to be there for McIntosh and Stars Mill. Maddie and Jason are going to be up at Bobby Gruen Field at City Park. In Gainesville for Johnson, Gainesville, and Gainesville. I'll have both of those for you on the network. SDH1 for Maddie and Jason, SDH2 for Drew. That'll be up and running at 5:25-ish or after pregame festivities, so a little before 5:30 each time. And it'll be Johnson, Gainesville, and it will be Stars Mill and McIntosh. Okay, let's get you into the brackets and what we know. And once again, we heard from Chris. He's still got some folks that are trying to figure out their own play-in tournaments. Chris's regular season's over. Last night they beat Appalachia, so they are in the barn. They are done. 3-1 win over Appalachia, and it was at Appalachia in Barrow County. They wrap up the season 11-0, 4-0, 46 goals scored in 11 matches. They've only given up 13 in 11. And then when you look at their grid, they gave up 7 of those in 2 matches. One was a shootout win against Dakota County, and the other was a 5-3 win at Jefferson. So in back-to-back games, they gave up 7 goals of the 13, more than half of their games that were more than half of their goals in 2 matches. And so after that, the other 9 matches, they gave up a total of 6 goals. Went through region, and they were in top of the region right now, Clarke Central. Once again, you're looking at 22nd overall in the National Max Preps polls. In Region 8-5A, Clarke Central 5-0. They're on top. Jackson County is your 2, and they're at 4-1, and they are at 13-4. Excuse me. Then Hab Central is at 4-2, and they are at 8-7. Winder Bear, the DO double G's right now, 3-3 in region, and they are at 8-8 in the overall. But once again, you're 1, you're 2, you're 3, and you're 4. Clarke Central, Jackson County, Hab Central, and Winder Barrow, 6 games in the region, and Clarke Central wins their 5 because of weather and scheduling and things. So Clarke Central 5-0, Jackson County 4-1, Hab Central, Winder Barrow, you're 1, you're 2, you're 3, and you're 4 in Region 8 5A. Now, let's get you into brackets and what we know. And once again, there's a lot of this is what we're not going to tell you is what's pencil. We're going to let you know what's in pen. We're going to do it that way. So starting in 6A, upper left on the boys' side, we know that Mill Creek is the runner-up in Region 8. They are in the same mini bracket with Peachtree Ridge, who's the 4 out of Region 7. First-round matchup for Carrollton. Alpharetta will visit. It is Region 2 versus Region 6. Region 3 versus Region 5. Etowah, we know, will be on the road. We don't know who they're going to be taking on yet. Alpharetta and Carrollton, we know about Region 2 and Region 6 to a degree. That's your upper left part in 6A. Decula, Team 3 out of Region 8. They are in the same mini bracket with Meadow Creek, same quadrant as Meadow Creek. Meadow Creek 1, Region 7. Marietta is the 2 out of Region 5. Douglas County is your 4 out of Region 2, and they are going to Lambert. That's the left-hand side of your bracket in 6A. Chapel Hill goes to South Forsyth. Wheeler is the 4 out of Region 5. They're waiting for the region champ out of Region 3. Parkview is the 2 out of Region 7. Collins Hill lurking around the corner in their quadrant. Collins Hill is the 4 out of Region 8, waiting for the region champ out of Region 1. Low right, North Forsyth and East Coweta. That is a first-round matchup. The 3 out of Region 6 and the 2 out of Region 2. Walton is also in that quadrant. They'll be waiting for their first-round opponent, and then they will get if they make it through, they'll get the winner of North Forsyth and East Coweta in Raider Valley. Berkmar is the 3 out of Region 7, and Buford is the top seed out of Region 8. So that is the rundown of 6A and what we know. 5A on the boys' side, what we know is this. Greenbrier goes on the road to Jackson County. And we also know that Milton is team number 4. They're going to go to the region champs out of Region 4. Northgate is team 2 out of Region 3. Lassiter will travel to Lee County. That is upper left in the bracket in 5A. Low left, Hab Central goes to Evans. Then Johns Creek, we're waiting to see who the 4 is out of Region 4. They will make the trip to Johns Creek. Noonan, waiting for their first-round opponent, the runner-up in Region 5. Coffee travels to Riverwood. So Douglas to Riverwood on the 22nd. Then upper right, Houston County goes to River Ridge. That is a sneaky good matchup in round number 1 on the 22nd. McIntosh is waiting as the region champ in that one. So Houston County, River Ridge, team 4 out of Region 5, and McIntosh. That's one quadrant upper right. Chattahoochee's the runner-up out of Region 7, waiting for their opponent to be made. Winder Bear, the DO double G's, travel to Brunswick to take on Glen Academy. That's upper right. Low right, Pope goes to Veterans. Lovejoy's waiting for their opponent, the region champ out of Region 5. Gainesville is going to play the runner-up out of Region 4. And as you heard Chris Aiken mention, South Effingham goes to Clarke Central. So you could have Gainesville, the 2 out of Region 4, and everyone headed toward Clarke Central. So that is region that's class 5A. Quad A, Pace Academy upper left, waiting for the number 4 out of Region 7. Marist is going to Northside Columbus, and it looks like right now Cambridge will be heading to Ola in the 4-1 out of Region 6, going to play the champ out of Region 2. Low left, Jackson, Atlanta. Maynard Jackson is team 4. They're waiting for the region champ out of Region 7. Stars Mill and Pius. That's an interesting one. Stockbridge at Blessed Trinity. That is the last quadrant low left in Quad A. Upper right, McDonough at Centennial, Northview at Mundy's Mill. That's one quadrant. Midtown is the only team in the lower part of that quadrant in the mini bracket. So Midtown's waiting for their opponent, the runner-up out of Region 7. That is upper right. Low right, Union Grove is waiting for their opponent, the number 3 out of Region 6. Harris County traveling to Clarkston. Then Drew is waiting for their opponent, Team 3 out of Region 7. That is your Quad A bracket on the boys' side. Triple A is power ranking. So once again, we won't know what that power ranking looks like until after decision day. Keep an eye on the brackets and the rankings. That is at GHSA.net. Double A boys is also power rankings. Class A Division 1 is power rankings. Class A Division 2 is not. Montgomery County will wait for the winner of Washington, Wilkes, and Atkinson County. That one will be in Pearson on the 29th. That'll be on the 22nd. Winner plays Montgomery County on the 29th. It's either going to be a trip to Mount Vernon or a trip to Pearson. MCA travels to Tryon. That is pack a lunch, a dinner, and a midnight snack. Winner of that one will take on Team 2 out of area number 4. Low left, Lake Oconee Academy, area 5, team number 1. They're waiting for their opponent, number 4 out of area 4. Eccles County, they are waiting for the winner of LOA and area 4, team 4 on the 29th for the first round bye. Atlanta Classical, Dooley County. This one's sneaky good too. Atlanta Classical, area 6, team 3. Dooley County is area 2, team 2. The winner of that one gets Metter on the 29th as area 3's team number 1. Upper right, Claxton waiting for area 4, team 3. Winner of that one gets Mount Zion Carroll on the 29th. Irwin County travels to Hiawassee to take on Towns. Man, that's a long drive. 22nd, Irwin County to Towns County in the playoffs. Winner of that one gets GMC. That one is in Milledgeville on the 29th. Low right, it is still waiting to find out who area 4 team number 1 is. Elite Scholars travels to Portal. Lincoln County gets a first round bye, and they will get the winner of Troutland and Brooks County. 2 teams in the top 10 squaring off against each other in the opening round. So we'll find out what that looks like on the boys' side in Class A Division 2. Private layout right now is power rankings, and once again, we'll know that one when we get there. Girls' side. Once again, private is power rankings. Class A Division 2, Troutland waits for the winner of Towns and Irwin, so that is a doubleheader. So at least both teams head in the same direction. So it is boys and girls, Irwin County to Hiawassee to take on Towns County on the 22nd. Metter waits for their opponent, and in their half of the upper left bracket, area 6 team number 2 and area 4 team number 2 is still being determined. Low left, Lake Oconee Academy, area 5 team number 1 is waiting for area 4 team 4. Winner of that one will get Brooks County, who is team number 3 in area number 1. Low left, Montgomery County waits for their opponent, team 3 out of area 6. The winner of that one gets Screven County. Screven County is area 3's team number 1. Upper right, it is Claxton waiting for their opponent. Claxton's area 3, team 2. And they're also waiting to find out who the winners pick off in area 6, team number 1. Lanier County goes to Lincolnton, area 1, team 4. Long roadie for them. GMC gets the winner of Lanier and Lincoln on the boys' side. Then low right, Portal, area 3, team 3 is waiting for their opponent, and for the higher ranked team upper in their mini bracket up top in the low right, Washington Wilkes waits for the winner of Dooley and Atkinson, and that one once again is low right. So that's your Class AD2 on the girls' side. Class AD1 is power rankings. Double A is power rankings. Triple A is power rankings. So half of the brackets in the girls' side are power rankings. Quad A girls, some of it has been filled in. Midtown is the region champ out of Region 4. They're waiting for their opponent in the other half of their mini bracket. Druid Hills goes to Harris County. Centennial goes to Jones County. That's upper left in Quad A. Low left, Forest Park is waiting for their opponent, Region 7 champ. North side, Columbus goes to St. Pius. Locust Grove goes to Blessed Trinity. Upper right, Union Grove to Westminster. Northview to Stars Mill. Pace Academy waits on the runner-up in Region 7. And the other matchup in their mini bracket, Cambridge and Ola, Region 6, Team 3. They will play, and the winner of that one gets Central Carroll and Marist. Maynard Jackson, Atlanta They're waiting for their opponent, Region 7, team number 3, and the rest of their mini bracket to be filled up. 5A girls, Glen Academy at Jackson County, and Chattahoochee is we're doing this all over. We're doing this one all over again, aren't we? No, we're not. We're good. Chattahoochee, team number 4 out of Region 7, McIntosh in the low mini bracket, waiting for their opponent. Creekview goes to Houston County on the girls' side in 5A upper left. Hab Central goes to Lakeside Evans. Winner of that one takes on the winner of Roswell and the 4 seed out of Region 4. Noonan, Lee County, and Riverwood. Thomas County Central and Lassiter upper right. They are waiting for the 4 out of Region 5. Northgate, Region 3, team number 1. Mini bracket, Johns Creek is waiting. Clarke Central's boys, Region 8, team number 4, taking on Greenbrier. So you could have Johns Creek and Greenbrier on the girls' side in the second round, upper right in 5A. Also in 5A low right, Pope goes to Veterans. Hughes is waiting for their opponent, the region champ out of Region 5. Milton waits for their opponent. South Effingham goes to Loganville on the boys' side or the girls' side in 5A. 6A girls, as it's looking, Buford waits for their opponent. Team 3 out of Region 1. Parkview is in that mini bracket as team number 4 in Region 7. North Paulding is waiting for their opponent. Winner of that one gets the winner of Denmark and East Coweta, who is Region 2 champ. Low left, Mountain View is in. Brookwood is in. Mountain View's team 3 out of Region 8 waiting for their opponent. Brookwood waiting for number 4, team 4. And low left in the bracket itself, low left, Cherokee's waiting for Region 3, number 3. Chapel Hill takes on West Forsyth. You could have a quarterfinal to get out of that quadrant of Brookwood and West Forsyth. May the 4th, circle the date. And it's a coin flip, Brookwood and West Forsyth, to figure out where it's going to be to get into the semifinals. Upper right in 6A, Douglas County is at North Atlanta. Marietta is going to travel to the region champ out of Region 3. Norcross, runner-up in Region 7, waits for their opponent. Discovery's number 4 in Region 8, waits for the region champ out of Region 1. Could be probably Richmond Hill. Lambert goes to Carrollton. Region 3's number 4 goes to Walton. You could have Lambert and or Carrollton on the girls' side taking on Walton in round number 1. North Gwinnett waits for their opponent. Team 2 out of Region 4, and Mill Creek is waiting for the number 4 out of Region 1. So you could have Mill Creek and North Gwinnett on a collision course in a quarterfinal just to get it in the semis. Private girls, once again, that one is a power rankings thing, and so the ones that are power rankings that would come out this weekend, do not fret, because just because nothing's filled in on a bracket doesn't mean nothing's going on. Top 10 in the girls' side of things across the country, according to our friends at Max Preps. Johns Creek is number 3. Lambert is number 5. That's it for Georgia in the top 10. But it is Wando, Ravenwood out of Tennessee, Johns Creek, Christian Brothers out of Tennessee. Then it is Lambert, Collierville, Florence High in Alabama, and 8, 9, and 10, Vestavia Hills, Bearden of Tennessee, and Lucy Beckham out of South Carolina. Quickly, let me get you into schedule and let you know what's going on boys and girls side. I don't want Houston, Texas Metro. That's ridiculous. Did not ask for that at all. So 30 matches today on the boys side. So here's your rundown there. Woodville, Tompkins, and Effingham counties at 5, along with Drew and Marietta at 5:30. Keep an eye on that one. It is Washington, Wilkes, Stevens County. That one's at 6. Mount Bethel and Hiram is at 6. Harrelson and Bowden, each looking to add a win late in the year. They're at 7 o'clock. Worth and Dodge, Calvary Day in Hardyville, South Carolina. Tatnall County and Groves is at 7. Epling County and Southeast Bullock. Rabun and Athens Academy, both chasing after win number 7. Lakeside Evans and Westminster Schools of Augusta chasing after win 16. Columbus and Bremen at 7:30. Westside Morgan County is at 7:30. Morgan County chasing win number 9. Pike and GMC, Marquee, 5:30 and 7:30. Mark that one down. Marist and Lovett, mark that one down too. Newton and Heritage. Drew Charter and Salem. It is Morrow and Griffin, Central, Carroll, and Temple. Baldwin and Hepzibah, Adairsville and North Murray. Furlough and ChattCo, we talked about that one on the boys' side and the girls' side. So Furlough Charter and ChattCo is at 7:30 on the boys. It is Westover and Sumter County, St. Francis and Mount Pisgah, 8 o'clock, and Cedartown and Rome, good regional rivalry there. 8 o'clock starts Luella, Cedar Grove, River Ridge and Hillgrove, and Woodland and East Paulding. And so going into the girls' soccer schedule, top 10 girls in the country according to Max Preps. Oak Mountain, Charlotte Catholic, Walton, and Riverwood are 3 and 4. James Clemens of Alabama is number 5. Marvin Ridge in North Carolina is at number 6, followed by Richmond Hill, J.H. Rose, Brookwood, and Wando. And so girls action. And I've one match in Houston. What is this with Houston? Why is Houston such a default? 26 matches on the girls' side today. Tattnall County, Savannah Christian, Worth and Dodge. These are the early ones, 5 o'clockers. Harrelson and Bowden, Appling and Southeast Bullock, Tattnall and Groves, St. Francis, Mount Pisgah, 5:30, Johnson County and Glasscock County and Gibson, West Side and Morgan County, Columbus and Bremen, Marist and Lovett, 2 teams chasing after win number 15. Pike and GMC once again, 5:30 and 7:30. If you are around that matchup, go. Drew, Charter and Salem, Newton and Heritage, Baldwin and Hepzibah, Adairsville, North Murray, Furlough Charter, and ChattCo as we got to catch up with Rusty and find out about his travel plans. It is Westover, Sumter County at 5:30. Tryon and Northwest Whitfield, sneaky good one there. Morrow and Griffin, 6 o'clock. Central, Carroll and Temple, Woodland and East Paulding. Then you have Luella and Cedar Grove. River Ridge and Hillgrove is at 6. Hiram and Paulding County at 7:30. Drew and Marietta is at 7:30 as well. That's your rundown of everything going on here in the Red Clay. As always, thanks for coming by, as you always do. Once again, to let you know, reminder tonight, it is Atlanta United Soccer, 92.9 The Game, the Odyssey app. Mike and Jason, we're all heading up there at some point pretty soon. So Mike and Jason, 7:33 kick. Maddie and Abe. Maddie's at Fort Finley. Then it's pre and post with Maddie and Abe. 5 Stripes Countdown, and also it is full-time report. I'll be up there as well, getting sound for tomorrow. Tomorrow on SDHAM, it is our friends Nino and Nico in the Power Hour in the second hour. Also chasing after cup sets and anybody else we can track down in hour number 1. We do have some feelers out to lay it all out for you there. So another go-round of Red Clay Soccer Report presented by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. Could not do this without them. As always, thanks for all of the support that you give us. Thanks for all the support that you give your local programs, and go out and see some other programs as well. You know, go out and spread the love of the game and let everybody else know what you see. That's another go round of the Red Clay Soccer Report. Mucha Platiel played safe. Since it's the end of the show, that means I get to do this. SDHAM coming up 9:05 tomorrow morning. Atlanta United Open Cup, Chattanooga FC, 6:30 starts your coverage. 92.9 The Game on the Odyssey app. See you in Chattanooga.